Okay, so the market is back open and turn this on here. Market is back open again, and we are currently now riding at a profit and loss of 1,946 or so, and still climbing. And when we look at the time frames here, it looks like in 60 minutes it's rising from being down. In 15 minutes, it's currently still rising with a momentum going up. 5 minutes, we have a rising momentum. So since we're at 2,000 profit and loss, I think it's time to scale in with another contract because it looks like it's going to continue up to 5,400. So we will go ahead and put a stop loss of 500 or 50 points and a take profit. We'll do a take profit of, let's say, 800, because we do want to capture in some profit, and so we want to capture this one with time and not let it go too much, because we have 3 contracts right now, so we need to capture some profit in case it does decline. So we'll take a set of take profit of 800, keep our stop loss at 500, and we'll do the auto break even trigger at 120 and the break even offset at 11 ticks. Sorry. And let's take a look at our 500 ticks and see when is a good time to buy. So it looks like in 500 ticks we're coming down in momentum, and so we would want to wait until we see the RSI go below the red line and the K and D lines, this purple and red, to go below 20. So we'll wait for those to come down before we put in a contract, so we know that we're getting the best minute time to buy. And so that's kind of the general process, is that first you look at the long-term time frame. It's going up and it's above the VWAP. VWAP is the volume weighted average. So it's above the VWAP of 5070. So that's saying that it is a trend up. Now all signs are indicating it's trending up. We see the squeeze is also in a momentum squeezing up. If we look at 60 minutes, we have the trend coming up from being down. The dip is higher here than the dim, so it's indicating it's in a good upward trend, as well as the ADX is telling us that that trend is relatively strong. We have ATR right here, which we haven't gone over yet. That's the average true range. So in this time period of 60 minutes, the average true range is 30 points. So that kind of gives you, if you're just placing a contract and you want to go above where the range is typically, how much the range goes in that 60-minute time frame, it's going to go usually 30 points in that 60-minute time frame. Just so you can know that information if you want to put your stop loss, around that or higher, to make sure that you don't get your stop loss hit. That's how far it would go in the 60 minutes. But as we can see here, it's still above the 200 EMA, and also the price is above the 21 period MMA, suggesting that we're still in a incline, right? So then we would go down to the 15 minutes, and we double check that information here. Is it above the 21 period EMA, 53.58? Yes, it is. It's above that by 40 points. And we check to see if it's above the VWAP as well, because the VWAP changes at different time periods. So that here it's 5,224, so we would still be riding 100 and some points above the VWAP, so we're still in an upward trend. And we come down to the 5 minutes, we check to see that the squeeze here is the squeeze and the MACD. The MACD is behind it, but it's this red and green line, so we're seeing that the MACD is above the signal. If it was the other way around, that the signal was above the MACD, then we would be seeing a decline. But in this case, the MACD is above with a difference of 1.9, and we are seeing the squeeze continuing to carry up, right? So that is saying, okay, we should buy. So then if we come down to the 500 ticks, we're still going to wait until the RSI and the K and the D are below 20 for a good time to buy. It looks like it's going to continue going up to 53, probably 5,400 before it starts to think about whether it wants to come back down. So we're going to continue to wait because I do want to get it at a good price. We don't want to be what they call chasing the money. You want to wait for the money to come to you, right? So we're still doing great though with a profit and loss of 2,168, and that is continuing to climb up. But again, we want to have a max. We have $50,000 to play with, and we do want to only limit ourselves to 12 contracts. And at any given time, you should only use about 2 to 5% of your account for a reasonable risk amount. Depending on your risk averse, how risk averse you are, if you want to risk more of your money, but the max you should go is about 5% to be a conservative trader, to make sure that your account doesn't get compromised by just one trade, right? So we're going to keep waiting here and see what happens. We're still seeing the RSI is at 90, right? So it's saying that currently it's overbought. So we would be expecting it to come down at some point, because when it's overbought for so long, it's eventually going to come down, and you can see that in the past. So if we look back at the previous, so these lines, they'll go up to the overbought, and then what happens when it's overbought? It starts to come back down and eventually comes under the red line, which is another, it gives us the indication it's a good time to buy because it's oversold. So then it'll start climbing back up and get back into above the green line. And then eventually it's going to come back down to the red line. So you want to wait to get on the wave. Right? We had that analogy of surfing before. You want to wait to get on the wave when the momentum is starting to increase. You don't want to get on the wave as it's just about to die down. And that's why I don't want to buy a contract now. I want to wait for the lines to come down below the red line before I put in the order. So let's wait there. And in the meantime, while we're waiting for that to come down, we can look at some other features of NinjaTrader. If you go to the community indicators, you can see all the community indicators that I've added so far. And when you click on one of them, it tells you a description. It gives you the opportunity to change the color, change the period. The period is the amount of time. So if it's the 200 period, it's going to be a longer period of time, as opposed to like a 7 period. That's going to be just for looking at short term. And that's going to, when you put a longer period, it's going to smooth it over and make it a smoother curve. If you do a shorter period, it's going to be more jagged and volatile. And then the great thing about NinjaTrader is it has community indicators that people add. So you see ones like volume. This volume is provided by NinjaTrader, but there's also other volumes that are shared by people in the community. So that's something else that, well, say Robinhood doesn't have. There's also interactive brokers. I've heard that's a good one, but I checked it out. And I've also checked out tastytrade and a couple others, but I didn't find the same level of functionality and features that you find in NinjaTrader. And also NinjaTrader support is super quick. I have gotten into issues with Robinhood. I got into a margin call when I was first starting out. A margin call is basically, and this is like, we'll have to have a whole nother video on margin call specifically, but if you don't have enough margin in your account to cover the amount of contracts that you have, and each instrument comes with its own initial margin. For example, the one for gold, we can take a look at the details here real quick. The initial margin for gold is 5,142. So that's saying that initially you'll need 5,142 of margin, or the amount of money that you need in your account, in order to cover one contract. And that's, for NinjaTrader, it's different than Robinhood, because it was like Robinhood, you needed the exchange amount of initial margin, and then you also needed a Robinhood amount that you needed to cover for each contract, and they required that at all times. With NinjaTrader, it's different, because during the day you can have $200 in margin and still and that's all you need per contract during the day. The only time that you need the initial margin for NinjaTrader is at 15 minutes before the market close, all the way until market reopens. So market will close at 4:45 p.m. Central Time and reopen at 5 p.m. Central Time, except for on and then the market is closed from Friday afternoon, Friday at 4 p.m. until Sunday at 5 p.m. Central Time. So that's a great thing about NinjaTrader, is that it only requires $200, and that rate changes. It's not constant, but that's what they require, is $200, unless it's at 15 minutes before the market closes. So at 3:45, sorry. If you don't have enough margin in your account to cover all the contracts, you're going to need to sell one of them, sell as many as you need until to make sure that you're within the margin requirements. Otherwise, they will liquidate your account, meaning they'll sell contracts for you until you do meet the margin requirement. So that's just something important to keep in mind. If you have an account size that's big enough to cover the initial margin, great. If you don't have an account size that's big enough to cover the margin, then you'll need to make sure that you're out of all positions before the 15 minutes before the market closes. So yeah, definitely keep that in mind when you're trading, because if you're only trading with $1,000, you can do it. You can have 3 contracts trading during the day, but 15 minutes before market close, you're definitely not going to have enough margin to cover those 3 contracts. You wouldn't even have enough margin to cover one of them. So for sure, keep that in mind. Let's take a look at the chart again here, and we are seeing the RSI, K, and D come down. So this might be a good opportunity to get into a new contract here. We're going to wait for it to come down even further, until all 3 of those indicators are below the red line. But again, since we are up the $2,000, we're going to use that $2,000 as a way to fund the acquisition of a new contract. So let's continue to wait here. So basically, the funds that we've earned so far are going to account for the risk that we're going to take on to acquire a new contract. And it looks like we're coming down even closer. Let's keep coming. And the squeeze in the MACD, they're also indicating that momentum is slowing and that it's starting to come back down. So what it did, gold came up to 53.94. Like I said, at the even numbers, once it gets there, that's where a resistance is. Typically, that resistance means that there's a lot of sellers at that point, and they don't want it to go above 5,400, so they start selling a bunch of contracts. Or that's where a bunch of buyers have placed their sell limit orders, so that they can what's the word? I can't remember the word. So that they can oh boy, so that they can take some of the profit. Yeah, that's what it is. Take some of the profit from profit taking. So you buy at a low price, and then you eventually want to sell, and a lot of sell limit orders are going to be placed at that 400, the 5,400 point, so that they can profit, take some of their profit, not sell all their contracts. For example, we have 3, so we might sell one contract when we're getting to a point where we want to sell a contract, just to take some of that profit and use that profit to buy new contracts. In this case, we're still thinking that gold is going to continue to go up. So we're just going to keep acquiring contracts and move our stop losses up, so that if it does drop back down, we're still going to make a profit. But at this point, we want to acquire more contracts and not sell off any, just not right now. So we are at, I did dip below for a second there, but not all 3 of the lines. But it looks like we are starting to move back up. And the bid is at 53.91 now. So I'm kind of hesitant to put in an order so close to 5,400, just because it has a hard time going above that. So even though it kind of dipped below for a second, that was just the RSI, not the stochastics. The stochastics are the purple and brown one. So those two didn't dip below. And we're so close to 5,400 that it's probably not the best time to buy the new contract. We want to make sure that it comes down, the stochastics and the RSI are at a low level to buy, and then once the purple line of stochastics, the K, crosses above the red line, that's an indicator that the buyers are back in control. So we're going to wait a bit here, and I think we can probably stop the video for now, and I'll start re-recording again when we're ready to buy that new contract. And I hope you all are having a fantastic night. It is Monday, March 2nd, 7:35 p.m. where I am. So I'll check in back with y'all later, and we can continue where we're at. Cheers, y'all.